All right, you guys. So we're down here in Atlantic City. I decided to get up relatively early, not to see the sun come up, but it is in the process of starting up or continuing up, I guess. So there's a pan at the beach. I mean, it's a pretty nice morning. It's a little crisp, a little bit of clouds, but at least it's sunny. And the sun is good, right? So I want to talk a little bit this morning about leadership and about confidence. Two things that are really important for success in life: leadership and confidence. So let's talk a little bit about leadership when it applies to our business. So essentially, people want to follow leaders. But, how do you get to the place where you're a leader and people want to follow you? Because you could say, I'm a leader, follow me. But unless you have the qualities of a leader, unless you're self-servant, and you're really able to provide value for people. That's really what I think leadership is you're providing value for people that are following you. So, you're going someplace that they want to go. And the skills that you have, whether it's people skills or communication skills or integrity, or you do what you say, you follow through it. These quality skills in life, people are attracted to those skills because you're producing a result and going to a place that they want to go to. The difference, I think, with us is that this is sort of the fellowship is volunteer. At an office building or a corporation, you have to be there. Your boss is your leader, but he pays you to be that. So if he didn't pay, you might not be there anymore. But with this is a volunteer army. So people don't have to be here. So our job as we're building an organization is to provide enough value so that people that don't have to be here will still be here, because you're providing value for them. Ultimately, you're solving a problem for them, a puzzle piece for them in their life. And that puzzle piece is, how do you help them create the life that they want, the life of dreams and the life of passion and the life of time and money. I mean, so many people, when you say time and money, they don't even know what that is. They have one or the other. They have time and they have no or little money, or they have a lot of money and no time because they're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. So how do you create that balance of freedom between time and money? And we've found one of the ways to do it. I mean, there's several ways in life, but one of the ways is through leverage and through a residual income business, the kind of business that you work one time and that business pays you over and over and over and over and over again. And we've been paid every month for the past 6 years for stuff. And that's how you're able to, on whatever today is, on a Thursday morning, you walking on the beach in Atlantic City, watching the sun come up, or the sun stay up, and not have to be either sitting in rush hour traffic or going to work and then making your corporation a lot of money. So it's about creating the leverage for yourself. Otherwise, you're your company or your boss's leverage. And the other piece I want to talk about today is confidence. How do you become confident? Well, one of the ways you become confident is you practice. You practice your skill, you practice your craft, and as you study and learn, you get better and better and better at it. But again, it's a volunteer army because we're not in salary. We don't have to practice. No one's going to make us practice. I'm not going to, stand behind your desk in your house or your chair and say, you got to do this, or you got to do that, or you got to call these people, or why didn't you do this, or why didn't you do that? That's a boss. That's a company. That's a job. And that's the difference, is we can't make you do it. We can't force you to succeed. You have to want to succeed so bad in life that you're willing to learn and connect. Check out the little seagull buddy there. You see him? He's cool, right? Right? He said hello. I think he said rah. So, where was I? So confidence. How do you become confident? Well, you have to want to. You know, you have to. It doesn't just drop out of the sky. You know, when you practice, you get better and better at something. You quite essentially you fail over and over again. At some point, you can adjust and make changes so that you're better at it. You're better at it. You're better at it. You're better at it. And then one day you wake up and you have confidence. And then when you have confidence, it just builds on itself. It just builds on itself. So, people don't have to follow you. They have to want to follow you. They've got to want to be around you. They've got to want to essentially find and develop what you have so that they can have the life that they want. You know, I was, like I said, I'm down here in Atlantic City. I've talked to, over 100 people since I've been down here, giving out cards, sending them to our site. And one gal was a ballerina dancer. You know, she's working part-time on the boardwalk, and but her dream is to be a dancer, a professional dancer, a ballerina dancer. And her dream is not necessarily to walk on the boardwalk, to work on the boardwalk, or another guy had flyers on the boardwalk for a restaurant. That might not necessarily be his dream. So a lot of these people, we live on planet Earth, so we need money to live, money for the rent, money for mortgage, food. But what do we want? What's our dreams? What's our reason for being here on planet Earth at this time? It's not really to. I don't think it's just to survive. I don't think it's to make our company rich or our boss rich. Because the time goes by. That's the thing is, 4 seasons a year, it goes by, month after month, season after season, year after year. And we're like, what happened? That's because, the bills come in each month. We have residual bills. They come in each month, whether we want them or not. They still show up. So if you can create residual income, or when you can create residual income, then the bills are paid automatically. And guess what, you guys? Brainstorm. If the bills are paid automatically, then you get your life, because now you don't have to go show up somewhere to pay the bills. Now you don't have to go up to show up somewhere to work, because the bills are paid automatically through a system because of leveraged income. Every month you get your bills, but every month you get your paycheck for work you did 2, 3, 4 years ago that you didn't have to show up for today, and now you're free. Now you own your life because all your bills are paid. Now you get to decide what you want to do with your time. And your time, you guys, let me talk a little bit about time. Time is one of the most important assets on the planet. Nobody gets any more of it. If you're a billionaire, if you're a multimillionaire, if you're a guy living in a cardboard box on the street, no one gets any more time. There's 24 hours in a day, there's so many hours in a week, there's so many hours in a month, and only so many hours in your life. And once the time is over, it's over. You can't buy it back. Yeah, if you had a lot of money, you could, maybe afford some expensive, medical treatments to keep you alive, maybe a few more months or a few more years. But ultimately, at some point, if we're human, and most of us are here on planet Earth, that we only have so much time. So the key, you guys, what nobody shares this with you, most people don't share it, and they certainly don't share it in school, is that leverage is the key. You have to leverage yourself so that you can have your time freedom, so that you get to really have the time to figure out who you are on planet Earth, and why you're here, and what do you want to be doing. And in all my years, I kind of figured out that I think that the people that have the best quality of life are the people that provide the most value for other people. The most value for their experience and what they do. If you provide a lot of value, whether you call it God or the universe or whatever. I mean, how did this get created? I don't know. I didn't sign up for that course, but it's an amazing sunset on an amazing beach in Atlantic City, and I'm here to enjoy it. So I just wanted to share that with you today, this morning, for a little bit of sunshine to brighten your day, but to give you the spark that it is possible. Whatever your dream is, whether it's to be a professional motorcycle rider or ballet dancer or a professional golfer or a fisherman or just a great father and or a great kid or a leader on your football team or whatever that is, you guys, that part is up to you. And then you need the time and the money to figure out what it is that lights you up, what it is that creates the passion in your life. Because once you figure out what lights you up, now you can walk down that path. Now you can walk toward that dream. And it's not going to happen instantly. It's not going to happen overnight. No dreams do. It's funny when people get to a success level and somebody goes, "Oh my God, who are they?" It was like they were a 30-year overnight success. So they just worked and worked and worked. Nobody ever heard of them. And then poof, one day they show up and they're on the cover of whatever, Time magazine or on the national news, or buying a building or whatever. But it's you got to figure out who you are. Then you got to figure out what it is that you want in life on planet Earth, and then you get to go do it. But you need the time and the money to do it, because it is limited, the time. All right, so that's it for today, or at least for this morning. I'm sure I'll do another video later. Time and money, you guys. That's what we do at Pay Attention Films. Whether it's writing books or making movies, with a message, or teaching people, showing people cool skills in life. You can have it all if you want to pay the price. But it's working on your stuff. What's in your way, whether it's procrastination or bad communication skills or anger, or whatever it is that stops you. That's your goal. That's the lesson. That's what you got to get through to get to your dream. And it's a matter of, is your dream important enough? Is your dream big enough? Because if it's big enough, you're going to do what it takes. But if it's not really that big, it's not really that important, or you don't really believe that you can do it, then you won't do it. So again, it's about belief. It's about confidence. It's about leadership. And you too can have an amazing life of freedom and travel the world if that's what you want to do, and meet a lot of interesting people and have an amazing, amazing, amazing life. Pay Attention Films, payattention.biz. See you from the beach. There we are.